Hi, everyone. This is the Singing Tallit with today's Singing Tallit topic. This is the question, what is a Tallit? Well, as you can see from the picture on screen, this is an example of a very elaborate, lengthy Tallit that I suppose some gentlemen may have worn. But let's look at some of the modern Tallits that are around today. You'll notice that if you've ever been to a Jewish synagogue, at least on Yom Kippur, you'll see that everyone is asked to wear a tallit. These should be thought of, you may have heard them described as a prayer closet. You may have heard Yeshua say, go into your closet and pray to your Father. This is the idea of taking the tallit and closing the face cover so that a person cannot see you while you pray. You can think of a tallit as a man's wings. If you thought of him, as a divine being. For instance, in Matthew 23:37, we see Yeshua say, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you that kill the prophets and stone them that are sent unto you. How often I would have gathered my children together, even as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and yet you would not." This is bringing forth that idea, like in the prophecy of Malachi, that this, the Savior to come would come with healing in his wings. This story is carried forward in the story of the woman who reached out and grabbed the hem of Yeshua's garment, as it says in the King James, the hem of the garment. Let me see if I can look that up. Hem of the garment of Yeshua. And this woman who had an emission of blood, she reached out for the hem of his garment. And there it is. Just then the woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, she came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. And the hem of his garment is, of course, the tzitzit, which hang off of the tallit. The tzitzit, here's a picture, or a twisted braided cord, which is commanded that every member of the house of Israel must wear in Numbers 15:38. Here, I've brought it up. "Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and put in that fringe a ribbon of blue." And here we see the ribbon of blue in the modern tzitzit. Now, for anyone who knows any Orthodox Jews out there, oftentimes you'll see them with these white tzitzit that do not contain a blue thread, because it is commonly held that the blue dye, or at least the mollusk from which it is made, no longer lives. So Jews say, well, we can't make the dye to make the proper blue, so we're not going to make the blue. Now, it's been said that in Israel, this mollusk has actually made a comeback, that as Israel itself is being brought to life more and more and more by the presence of God's people, that the life forms which are necessary for them to do the duties God has assigned to them are also returning. So we may, in fact, begin to see this blue tzitzit return even in the garb of the Orthodox Jews. This particular website I brought up on the Jewish dress and custom tells us a little about the tallit and also about the tzitzit and the tefillin. It says here that the tallit, the second garment they wore, was an outer garment that went over the halak. And this garment was called the tallit and was usually made of wool and had holes for the arms and the head. This was the garment that was worn out in public. And this guy shows that when Yeshua in Matthew 5:40 said to give someone your halak as well as your tallit, he's taking it to mean to give them all of your priestly garments. Give them the things which make you a priest. Of course, I would say that he was trying to make the point that you need to take that person and move them to a position of becoming a priest so that they can leave behind the greedy, self-centered life that they had had. Well, that's a topic for another discussion, of course. In the meantime, I hope that this little primer has given you some understanding of why the tallit is an interesting garment that we should consider important in the life of Yeshua. Again, think of it as a man's wings. The tallit is the outer garment that would have been a symbol of a man's desire to be holy unto Yehovah. So be blessed in the name of the Creator, and be blessed in the name of the Messiah, and thank you.